Okay, while they're loading this up, before we do our roll call and we'll go into invocation, I'd like to share a few announcements. I know it's really small, right? Okay, on November 14th, everybody, Comanche Nation members here, Comanche Nation members looking live stream. November 14th, individual per capita amount of $1,303.65 will be distributed. Please have addresses in order. Either call here or call the bank. If you call here, we'll make sure you have the banking number. Next year, I would hope that everybody would consider the City National Bank debit card due to the fact we've got 50 tribal members that have never received any per cap yet, and it's sitting at the bank. I guess they don't want to be found. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know, but there's 50 of them. The process of personal checks, it does cost us a little bit of money to send personal checks out, and it does prolong individuals per capita when they haven't updated their addresses. So reach out to your family members, all absentees living abroad. Contact us. You might have a family member out there that's due a big sum of money. You know, it's been since 2005, it's 2016, so it's 11 years. 50 people out there, Bobby, 50. Yes, Mr. No-Nine. I mean, Mr. Tadenapper, my bad.
Send mine to Standing Rock.
Send it to Standing Rock, okay, Standing Rock. Comanche National Bank, City National Bank. Sorry, guys, no coffee this morning. The direct deposit will be on the 14th. So if you have that debit card, it will be direct deposit there. All other bank deposits, any other bank institution you use, it'll be the 16th of November. So please check with your bank. All right. Now here's some really good news. Comanche Nation Gaming will offer free check cashing. All right. Per capita checks. Also, a $20 free play for those that wish to enjoy one of our casinos. I encourage our membership that does visit one of our gaming properties, give a thank you to the employees that work night and day while we're sleeping. They're out there serving guests at our 24-hour facilities. Give them a big thank you. As a matter of fact, let's give them a round of applause for gaming. Okay, and Thanksgiving, you guys, is November 24th. Thanksgiving, the Comanche Nation Complex will be closed Thursday and Friday. Going forward, how many elders are in here? Raise your hands. All right, there we go. December the 9th, 2016 is Comanche Nation Elders Christmas Dinner and Elders Check Distribution. It'll be at the Great Plains Coliseum, Lawton, Oklahoma. The doors will open for vendors at 8 a.m. Cash and checks will be made available by City National Bank on property, so you can cash your checks there. We're requesting all churches, groups, organizations to call administration. Our main number is 492-3242 if they would like to share their musical talents and or our wonderful Comanche hymns. We have a special invitation to our Comanche Princess and Comanche Junior Princess and all Comanche organizations, Princess Royalty. And a special invitation will be given out to our Indian Santa Claus. The CBC wants to say, may God bless each and every one of you this holiday season. With that said, could I call upon Mr. Clyde Narcomi for a roll call of this meeting?
Chairman William Nelson, Sr.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Susan Cochran.
Here.
Committeeman number 1, Jonathan Polway. Here. Committeeman number 2, Eddie Odyssey. Here. Committeeman number 3, Harry Mathlow. Committeeman number 4, Clyde Narcomi. Present.
With that said, would everybody join with me in a prayer and pray in your own way, okay? Our Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning. Father God, we just ask upon you. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the beginning and the end. We ask you, Father God, to look upon our meeting, that every action today, you'll have your hand over it. Father God, I ask you to look upon our great nation, the United States of America, as we go forward with the vote for our presidency this week coming up. Father God, I just ask you to protect our water protectors in North Dakota. Father God, I just ask you to look upon the families that are in need, that are in mourn, where they have a sickness within their family. Father God, put your holy hand on the ones that have to take care of the disabled, the affirmed. Lord God, look upon our members that might be locked up, Father God, for past ventures that they knew not what they were doing, Father God. Lord God, I just ask you to put a mighty hand and eradicate these drugs within our tribe, within all tribes, and within our nation, Father God. Lord God, we are nothing unless we call upon you, for you, Father God, and your Son, Jesus Christ, that died on the cross. And my firm belief is that love that he said is the greatest gift of all. And I say all these things in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
First order of business today, everybody, we are going to go to resolution number one. What's it?
Minutes.
Oh, my goodness, you're right.
Minutes.
We did have the minutes of October. Strike that for the record, ma'am. Okay, we did have another CBC meeting in the middle of October. So I do want the committee to look this over. While we're doing that, Dustin, is there any way you could put up the PowerPoint, sir? Legal counsel, did you have anything to add? Is Julian here today? He's not here?
No.
Okay. Julian brought forward in our October meeting, 1st of October meeting, about Title VI, Title I, JOM, all the different monies that go to the public school system. And the thing is, these monies are not being captured. They're being utilized by the schools. And I hope Julian comes forward on that. Also has learned last month, $132 million was given to the state of Oklahoma for education. They said 88% went to education. I don't know. We're ranking 49th in the entire union of education in our public school system. I firmly believe we have some very bright Comanches, and I will advocate with this state that, hey, we need some waivers to private schools. Doesn't take a millionaire for some of our Comanches to go to private schools. There are waivers given, and for us to give so much money to the state of Oklahoma for education, they got to give back a little bit for our brightest, our 3.9, 4.2 students that we do have. I would love to see Comanches at Cassidy. I'd love to see Comanches at Cassia Hall, Heritage Hall, Lawton Christian. Maybe we'll make this happen. We got to make it happen. Lanil, wouldn't you agree? Yes, we have these students. Okay. With that said, I want everybody to look. This is our total population right now, November 2016. We have grown substantially. Our minors are 5,016. Our elders, this is our fastest growing population. Us baby boomers, where are you at, baby boomers? Raise your hands. There we are. Okay, we're coming up. Okay, that is 1,626. Our 18 18 to 61-year-old, 9,955. Now, you're going to be blown away by this next slide. Oh, boy. Here's our fastest growing population. Next December, everybody, the projected elders population will go to 1,798. Now, this one just blew my coat jacket off here. Comanches turning 18 years old by August 1st, 2017, 12,110 possible graduates. What does that say for this committee? We have a lot of work cut out for us. I'm glad I can give these numbers to our people. It's never been done before. We serve a constituency of not one, but of 579 Comanche souls. This means that higher education needs might have to be increased. This means life skills, because they're all going to become termed to their 11-year per capita balance. So, us intervening on a social level like that, it would have to be education, technical, life skills, teaching parents, help their children along this way. These will be the new supreme governing body voting constituents, 12,110. So I hope people living abroad can look at these numbers, understand the task that we're faced with. Business Committee, I make a motion that we do pass the minutes of October 4th and October 8th, 2016, and October 22nd, 2016. Any discussion at all? Yes. Okay. Motion was made by CBC Mithalo to accept the minutes of these two meetings. I am looking for a second.
I second.
Seconded by Committeeman Odyssey. Business Committee, all those in favor of the motion and second, do signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Okay, well, further down this agenda, we have resolution number 1043, a Comanche Nation resolution of the Business Committee. The list includes the names of applicants who have been verified as eligible pursuant to Article 3, Section 1C, membership of the Constitution of the Comanche Nation, which states all descendants of allottees eligible for membership under the provision of Section 1A of the article having an 8th or more degree of Comanche Indian blood. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee accept the verification of eligibility for the applicants shown on List 1043 by the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office. Be it further resolved that the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office notify the eligible applicant by letter of their approved membership, and further that the enrolled members be provided information concerning their enrollment, including name, date of birth, roll number, social security number, and degree of Comanche blood. Business Committee, I call upon a motion to accept list number 1043.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 115-16.
Okay. Do strike, the list was number 143, and resolution number is 115-16. Business Committee, a motion has been made. I am looking for a second on this motion.
Chairman, I second
Okay, motion made, seconded by Business Committee man, Mr. Mithalo. Business Committee, I call upon you to approve resolution number 115-16 by signifying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Comanche members, it's only right. A lot of grandmothers, mothers, fathers want their people that are new Comanches. We need to call it upon the mountains. So here we go. Scarlett Cottonau, Dayton Kaufman, Ava Coggins, Nina DeBover, Alexander French, Christian French, Arnold Gaither Jr., Enrique Gonzalez, Ethan Hernandez Seeley, Ramses Cardi Bordeaux, Ethan Coino, Gabriel Montsavias, Isabella Morales, Shyla Parker, Oliver Patton, Mia Pishlake Kawoni, Jericho Ratliff, Weeva Sanchez, Nivy Simmons, Liam Stone, Avery Tom and Zoe Tom, Henry Seeley and Lillian Seeley. New members, can we give them a hand clap, everybody? Well, that number I gave probably changed. So,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
I'd like to make a statement,
Sure.
please.
sure.
You know, all you guys out here in the audience and on the live stream, you don't know what we're looking at here. You don't know how much percent of the Comanches are. And I always say it, well, make a long story short, we added 24 new Comanches. 24 new Comanches. 14 of them were 1/8. That's what you guys don't know. 14 of them was 1/8. In other words, half of them we added on were 1/8. And people say that I'm against the 1/8. If y'all notice, when we add Comanches on, I'm the one who always make a motion to approve it. So how could I be against it? The reason I'm telling you guys, because y'all need to know. Just transparency, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Clyde. With the growing population, let's go back to our ancestors. At one time, before the Alati, before the Europeans got here, we were the lords of the Southern Plains. We were numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Why? We were the horsemen of the plains, and we took what we wanted anytime we wanted. And I always say this due to the fact that there is no image for Comanche, Numina, to make. Our image was made by our ancestors. Thank you. We go on to resolution number 116-16. Resolution. The documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and information furnished by each applicant named on list number 1044 does not possess the required 1/8 degree Comanche blood, as provided by Article 3, Section 1C of the Comanche Constitution. Now, therefore, be it resolved that each applicant named on the attached list number 1044 is determined to be ineligible for membership with the Comanche Nation of Oklahoma because he or she does not meet the provisions of Article 3, Section 3C of the Comanche Nation's Constitution. Be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1044 be officially notified of their rejection for membership, stating the reason for such determination and including the appropriate appeals provisions. Business Committee, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am asking for a motion for resolution number 116-16.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution number 116-16.
Thank you, sir. Motion made by Mr. Narcomi. Business Committee, I'm calling upon a second of this resolution, number 116-16.
Chairman, I'll second that.
And seconded by Business Committee Member Pythalo. Business Committee, I call upon you to accept the motion and second of resolution number 116 by signifying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Resolution number 16. Okay, sure.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I was wondering, why not we, reduce that from 1/8 to 1/16 as it goes down to?
Right. It's 1/8, ma'am.
I know, but why can't we go down lower?
Go down lower. That's really up to the general council and assembly,
Yeah.
you know, us adopting how we enroll
Because,
people.
you know, we're, really getting a lot of, you know, the kids going, and their kids, you know, is gonna be less because they're not marrying. And then already the Comanches that's, on there, they're half or 1/8, and they'll be older, and then, you know, when they marry, I mean, that, who's to say who they're gonna marry a Comanche, you know? They'll end up marrying other races too, you know? As fast as other races are coming in, you know?
Right.
And, I mean,
It's a
I
valid
was wanting to
point.
know if, you know, I mean, if it can be done where, I mean, we're still gonna have the same kind of, you know, we'll still be, where we could help our people, you know? And those future generations are gonna need that help because they're not gonna be full-bloods or not even half, you know? And,
You're so right, Mr. Nolan Taddenapper's baby girl is one of the last full-blooded minors we have. You know, we're at that point. We are at that point. It really goes to the general council and assembly, you know, and what they decide. You know, here, we are only limited to action of management of the tribe, so.
because, I think, you know, we'll still have, you know, enough funding now that we're getting rid of the bat and, you know, but, we'll be able to have that funding for the future generations, you know?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. As you can see, with so many turning 18, that just says it all. We've got a change in population, and we're gonna stay on top of that to meet the needs of our folks, so. General council, maybe folks come together in a coalition, bring that forward. You know, it's really up to the people to vote on it. And that's one thing about this business committee, I'm sure proud of them. They're wanting to give the power back to the people, and that's really good. So if we can continue on that stride, we'll be doing really well. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else on that subject? Sure, Lynell?
Yeah, what she says is, I know that's a prevailing thought nowadays because of the different bloods we have and everything, you know. It concerns me because, you know, I teach Comanche history, you know, and I believe I was raised traditionally. I didn't even know who I am and everything. This hurts me as a Comanche. I mean, it's not against anybody. You know, I love all my Comanche people, everybody. I'm not a politician. I don't want to get into that stuff. I was raised into it. I don't want to get into it. But it hurts because something's not happening anymore. Our spirit is going away because of this. It's probably not going to change. Our numina is going away. Our language is going away. Our songs are going away. And you know what? That hurts. That hurts me very much. We're not having it anymore. Everything's changing now. Even hurts me to even go to the dances anymore because where do they get that stuff? I mean, I'm not saying I know everything. I do not. But I know what Comanche is. We're talking about, Willie was talking about 1860s, 1870s. That's what I teach. That spirit that was there. Now we became wards of the government. Man, that's bad. That's bad. We want more money from the tribe. Those are called wards of the government. Maybe not United States governments, but the Comanche government. That hurts, you guys. That hurts. We need that spirit back. I know it's tough because we're marrying more tribes, we're marrying more tribals, you divers, all of them. I know, I'm not telling you what to do. I can't. But you gotta understand, all these 8s now, nothing against them, because I have relatives who are 8s. What do they know about us? What do they know about the number? Does that mean anything anymore? That's the thing, that's the question. Does it mean anything anymore? Does our number culture mean anything anymore? Not so much, and it's drifting away, you guys. It's drifting away, and that hurts. You know, the elders, I'm an elder now, 2 years now. And that hurts. That hurts me because I was raised, I love it. I love it. I love our guys being up here, I don't agree with everything that they're doing and everything, but nobody really does and everything, but we gotta work together. But that hurts when we have an 8. That reminds me when I was in college, you know, you never see those students who are 4th bloods. You only come see them when they get their money from the college. You don't ever see them at these events. You don't see them. But it doesn't matter anymore, does it, you guys? Our number, it doesn't matter anymore, does it? We can set 8, 116, 132nd. That matters. That matters. If you want an 8, this was my thought when I was gone, but if you want to be an 8th, at least be a 4th total in maybe Native American. I'm not against any, please understand what I'm saying. I'm not against anybody. But that spirit is missing us. Our number is leaving. You all know that. You know that. At least be a 4th if we agree, you can be an 8th, yeah. Because one person may be 1/16 of all bloods. Full blood, 1/16. Full blood, 16 tribes. That's becoming. Can they become a number? No. But we accept the 1/8 who don't know anything about us. I'm not against anybody, you guys, but you got to understand, I'm talking about our number, our culture. That's all I want to say because it's.
Thank you. Talk on that. Namana, Comanche means real people.
Amen.
Okay, moving forward. Anybody else on that subject? Okay. Moving forward, we're going to resolution number 117-16. The documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and information furnished by each applicant named on list number 1045 does not descend from a Comanche electee. Now therefore be it resolved that each applicant named on the attached list number 1045 is determined to be ineligible for membership with the Comanche Nation because he or she does not meet the nation's constitutional membership requirements. Be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1045 be officially notified of the rejection for membership. Business Committee, I do call upon a motion on this resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution number 117-16.
Motion made by Mr. Narcomi. Business Committee, I call for a second. Motion and seconded by Mr. Mithalo. Business Committee, I call upon you to accept 117-16 by signifying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution number 117-16 does pass. Okay, we are moving forward with a resolution. I believe it comes out of the Transportation Department, Mr. Tejano. Okay. Resolution number 118-16. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee is a duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the nation pursuant to Article 6, Section 7C. Whereas the Comanche Nation Department of Transportation wishes to enter route number 7128, commonly referred to as the EPA road, to the Transportation Improvement Plan. Then enter into an agreement with Comanche Nation Environmental Program for construction of route number 7128. The subcontractor will perform all construction duties and utility line relocating for the said project. The Comanche Nation Department of Transportation will provide funding for materials and design for said project. Mr. Tejano, could you just please give us a description of where and when and how?
Well, if we get approved,
Right now, it's out of season, but we have marked property lines. We're gonna have to move the fences. And it's over here, police department going west out to the EPA building is 8/10 of a mile. So we want to reconstruct that and put them a nice asphalt road in there.
That'd be nice.
And the police department will benefit from this too. We're gonna, instead of them having to park their vehicles in the mud, we're gonna, from the roadway to their concrete parking lot, and make them some additional parking in there. It'll come on the same route. I've spoken with the Southern Plains engineer, and he says it's perfectly fine to do that.
Very good.
All we're
Very good.
waiting for is maybe getting approval here.
Sure. Okay. And TA Atterbury, everything in order to your satisfaction, sir?
Right, because it'll also benefit prevention and recovery and new pathways as well.
Wow, okay,
So
very
we
good.
need that road.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Just a little
Tom.
information. We have a new route, which is the Comanche Elder Center. And we're wanting to reconstruct groundwork there and add parking and make it safer for our elders. That concrete down there is shifting and it's, you can walk through there and just trip. And that's what we plan to do. And all this is coming with federal highways funds.
That is really good. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I had a meeting with the engineer, Mr. Simpson, and they're coming up with a new reporting system. And what the idea is Congress wants to know if we're spending our money or we're holding it, more or less hoarding it. And if they find out that's what's happening, they're gonna cut back on the funding. So we were encouraged to spend our federal highway money. Hopefully with the backing of the CBC, we'll be able to do that.
We better do a lot of things quick by November 8th, right?
Yeah,
You never know. You just never know.
Mr. Tejano,
Yes, sir.
in this resolution here, we have, it has the subcontractor will perform all construction duties. Who's the subcontractor?
It hasn't been awarded yet. This is just in the early stages. All we're looking for is approval on the resolution. Then we'll get with the EPA guys and then we'll put it out for bids. We're gonna do it properly, like we always have.
As long as you guys know that Jake Sharp is on the endangered list
there you go.
and his cronies.
Yes, we understand
Okay.
that, and we do know that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I want to direct this question to Adrian. Who has the maintenance responsibility for Rory Tatum Road?
That's a hard question to answer. The Comanches have it on the inventory, but the city of Lawton says that's not ours. Federal government says it's not ours. I don't know who done it last. It was done way before my time, but it happens to be on our inventory.
Because that road is falling into.
And that's another thing. I visited with the administrator at the hospital on that last month, and we're gonna try to do something with that.
Because that road's getting bad.
If we hold it on our inventory with the support of the CBC, we can redo that road, I'm sure.
Great. Awesome.
On that subject, I'm sorry, on that subject, Mr. Naito and Mr. Tejano, Mayor Fitch, we're being tasked with a few things through KCA and with this city council of Lawton. So that subject's gotta come back up because I've been seeing Lawton LPD pull people over there. There's no place where people will pull over but the bar dudes, right?
Right.
And of course, it's getting really bad. Mr. Naito, you're right on point. Hopefully, we just do it from here, because waiting on them, that'll probably be forever.
I'll visit with the engineer,
Sure.
Southern Plains engineer,
That'd be
and we'll
great.
decide if we can get it done.
You bet.
As soon as our next round of funding comes in, that'll be one of our priorities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Why can't our own people fix that road?
Our own people, gaming money, that's where it would have to come from,
That's not true.
if the Comanches done it.
Well, I just wondered because our Comanche boys built our road over there at Cash, didn't they?
I'm not sure about that. Comanche, which,
Well, who
which
built that
boys?
road at Cash?
Which
That
one?
road's on that street.
Lee?
I saw a couple of my Cash students working on there and I asked them how they did it. And they said, we did it all.
I don't know which road are you talking about?
In that
Deer
cash,
and antelope?
yeah,
Deer and antelope over there in Cache when they improved that.
Oh, yeah, the tribe done all that.
Yeah.
It was awarded to TNG Construction through the county and the city of Cache.
well, the county didn't have anything to do with it.
They did a lot of the work.
I thought we did the work. We paid for everything and did the
Yeah, we
work.
paid for everything.
And we did the work.
No, we didn't do the work. The county and TNG Construction did the work. We don't have a Comanche road construction crew. It would take $20 million to even start one of those programs because of the price of the machinery.
Well, I saw a couple of my students working on there.
Maybe
That's
they're
why I thought
hired
we
by the
did.
county. Mr. Parker?
Yeah, the ideal has been brought up to the Bureau, that we can have our own road and bridge construction crew. So that we can have our own people doing this instead of contracting it out. Not just for roads and bridges, but for our elderlies or handicapped that need asphalt for their driveways. It can be done without giving money, with federal money.
You know, 4 weeks in as a chairman, I'm really impressed with our compliance lady, our new grants person, and Jimmy's call to action on that. It really comes down to, we've got to use other people's money. If we take the strain off gaming a little bit, that'd be great. So, with that said, resolution number 118-16, I'm calling for the committee on a motion on this to get this Department of Transportation route number 7128, and that will be added to our inventory, Mr. Tejano?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, it's on inventory.
already. Okay, all right.
I make a motion to accept resolution 118-16.
Okay, motion made by Vice Chair Cawthorn. Committee, I'm looking for a second on this.
I second it, Mr. Chairman.
And seconded by Committeeman Mr. Narcomi. Business Committee, I call upon you by signifying aye to approve this resolution.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution number 118-16 has passed. Resolution number 119-16. The Comanche Business Committee rescinds any and all previous resolutions giving authority to any board, commission, or party over the Apache, Cache, and Walters Community Centers, and redirects control and authority back to the Comanche Nation. And whereas the Comanche Nation is to manage and maintain the Apache, Cache, and Walters Community Centers by utilizing the same procedures used for the Watchataker Hall. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby approves this resolution for the above stated action and immediate implementation.
I make a motion to accept resolution 119-16.
Motion has been made by Vice Chair Cawthorn. Business Committee, I'm calling upon a second to confirm the vote.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Business Committee Member Poway. Business Committee, all those in favor of resolution number 119-16 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by the same sign. Resolution number 119-16 did pass, ma'am.
I have a question about that.
Sure.
Since it's gonna come back to us, who's gonna maintain the grounds and the buildings and stuff like that?
Everything will come underneath the guise of the tribal administrator.
Will it, okay, be out through, maintenance? Maintenance will be taking care of all that now? Okay, because it makes a lot of sense that it comes back to us and that they would take care of it.
Capital improvements done so much work.
Because before they were paying people to go down there and cut the grass and all that other stuff, work on it and stuff like that. You can lose a lot of money doing that.
Sure can. Well, it comes to our membership, sometimes they put a deposit up and never can find it. Mr. Parker?
Yeah, in regards to these community centers, yeah, maintenance can take care of the grounds and interior, you know, like changing, hopefully changing, you know, like lot bulbs and vents and stuff like that instead of capital improvements, because isn't that maintenance? Okay. But the other thing is, the people that are supposedly being caretakers of these buildings aren't taking care of them. We have been spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and repeat remodeling, refixing, repairing. I mean, you get these deposits for these monies for events. Where's that money going? And why aren't these people that are supposed to be caretaking of these buildings being held accountable?
Now, we just made them accountable by passing this resolution. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Sure.
Will this affect the fees that people?
I doubt it. I think we got a very nice TA over there. This might be lenient. I don't know. What are the fees, Mr.? I guess all of them had their own situations going on.
Yeah.
And
Wonder if it's double it or?
yeah, well, everybody had their own situations going on. There was no uniformity. It was a grab bag situation. Some had all kind of 15-page codes they were going by, and it's just.
The other thing is, are we gonna be responsible here at the nation for renting those buildings, or is it gonna go back to the people in the cities to rent those community centers out?
Yeah, it'll start right here, right here.
Okay, because before, if they didn't like you, they won't give you the building.
Right. We took care of
That's why
this.
it's coming back. That's
We-
why it's coming back.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know,
I'm not gonna say where, but I asked to use the building because I'm an elder and I want to teach my kids how to sell tacos and things. And I was told that it was booked up until January. The white people keep me completely busy with this building. I said, the white people? What are you talking about? I said, so you got all white people using the building, and what about the Comanches when they ask if they want? She said, well, I might could fit you in January or February sometime. I said, never mind, I don't care.
Well, the Comanche Nation has proven to be a great neighbor by building roads, building bridges, natural disasters. We've taken people in. We've been a great neighbor to this community. So let's be a great neighbor to our own selves and have uniformity.
who did we see, say, for instance, we want to use the building for powwow, hand game, or whatever,
Property.
and then you say who?
The property director's name is,
What is it? for
Where will
contact?
they, where will
Utilize
they contact
it?
you?
The front desk, the receptionist at the front.
oh, it's not going to property?
No, it's
Okay,
at the front
okay,
desk,
all
just
right.
like Watcher Taker Hall.
Okay, all right.
You go
Who
to the
is it?
front desk. You see the ladies at the front desk if
Okay.
you want to rent any of these buildings.
Oh, okay, yeah, Stephanie and.
Yes, yes.
Miss-
I'm not gonna say either which building, but they are filthy. They're not clean, there's no paper in there, and it looks really bad, you know, so they might have to clean it up better.
Well, I know one thing, it being centralized, uniformed, uniformity handles all. Everybody on the same standard operating procedure, 1, 2, 3, ABC, should work out really good. Yes, ma'am.
Cash been going downhill.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I have something comical to say. Once I was using one of the buildings one time, and so I got there, and she said, the door's unlocked, so I went over there, and I'm trying to get in, and I called her back, I said, I can't get in. I said, you need to come back over here, I got people showing up, and she said, okay. So when she got there, she said, oh, you don't push down the handle, you have to push it up like this. I said, what?
Instructions on the door handle.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Business Committee. 12016, moving right along to resolution number 12016. The tradition of sovereignty of the Comanche Nation since time immemorial long predates predates the existence of the nation, establishes the inherent sovereign powers and rights of the Comanche self-government. And whereas the Comanche Business Committee is the duly elected official designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation. And whereas all proprietary and fiduciary information is the rightful and professional ownership of the CBC. Good business standards, rightful requests of all financials paid to vendors, individuals, and all contractual agreement has to be forthcoming as soon as the request of an elected official or the tribal administrator is made. Bottom line, you got our information, bring it. Along with all information requested, there has to be attached all information relating to the IRS of amounts dispersed and any all paid instruments as described above. The CBC understands the systematic process of identifying, and for all accountants that are in this meeting, the process of identifying, recording, measuring, classifying, verifying, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating financial information. Accounting provides information on the resources available to the nation, the means to finance those resources, and the results achieved. And now therefore be it resolved, all requests of financials will be forthcoming to the Comanche Nation Business Committee, CBC, and the tribal administrator immediately from all sources without hesitation, with all backup documentation included. May this resolute action serve as a template for the future. So be it. Amen. Business Committee, I'm calling upon a motion for approval of resolution number 120-16.
I make a motion to accept resolution 120-16.
Business Committee, a motion was made by Vice Chair Cawthorn. I am looking upon a second for approval.
Chairman, I'll make a second.
Seconded by Committeeman Mithalo. Business Committee, resolution number 120-16. Signify by saying aye for approval.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution number 120-16 is hereby approved. In a nutshell, for some reason or another, our financial institutions and everybody else has a problem when we request information. That can't happen anymore. And by this resolution, it won't happen anymore.
What about the audit? That's also included in the data that's compiled by the Comanche Nation.
Sure. Our audits are ongoing right now.
Why is it taking so long?
Well, a forensic audit's usually about 2 years. So I'm awaiting all findings from this forensic audit.
Let's see. Chief of Police Griffith had a resolution that the CBC passed in, I can't remember, November, December, February, but it was a criminal investigation resolution where he could get information from all the programs or in Finley and Cook. And it had, seemed like it had some teeth in there. You know, if somebody didn't do it, well, they get charged. But I thought I had it with me, but I don't have it with me. That was a good resolution. And he was trying to pass that since October because FBI was doing an investigation, and I guess he couldn't get the information because Coffee wouldn't let nobody get the financial information during that time.
Well, it's a new day, Gabby.
Well, this resolution take care of that, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Doris?
What kind of consequences will there be for people who don't comply with that resolution?
See, it comes right down to a court. Comes right down to a court. Like right now, there's things going on of a court we don't even recognize, so we are codifying a court as we speak. Anybody else? Okay. Business Committee, resolution number 121-16. Back me up, did we pass this?
Yes. 120 we did.
Okay. On to resolution number 121-16. The Comanche Nation Constitution, Article 5, Section 7D, to authorize the expenditure of funds which may be deposited to the exclusive credit to the Comanche Nation and of funds which may be deposited to the joint credit of the Kiowa, Comanche, and Apache tribes. And whereas the Comanche Nation Constitution, Article 6, Section 7D, to develop annual budgets for the financing of Comanche tribal operations and to present such budgets to the Tribal Council for final consideration as to adoption or rejection. And knowingly, for the last 10 years, this process has been rushed, ignored, or has ran out of time for discussion or dissemination. It's good to see our past chairman, Mr. Burgess, here, where he tried 2 general councils, and it was still rushed, and it was still ran out of time for dissemination. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the seated Comanche Nation Business Committee of this date, November 5th, 2016, do believe that in the best interest of all enrolled Comanche Nation members, that a Comanche Nation Budget Summit be called for the date of January 14th, 2016. Wait a minute, that's 2017, isn't it?
So 27.
January 14th, 2017, our new year coming up. Weather permitting, and to have a second date of January 21st, 2017, in case of inclement weather. This will not be a general council meeting, but a precursor to the 2018 annual budget to be adopted at the Comanche Constitutional Annual Meeting to be held April 15th, 2017. May this resolute action serve as a template for the future. Business Committee, I know y'all still have some questions on this, and audience, you too. Open for discussion.
I got a question.
Sure.
So you want to have it in January?
Yes,
Why
sir.
don't you have it like in September, October before, when all the financials are known? So that way it's closer to 100% budget.
We looked at that. We've had precursor budget meetings ongoing with the TA. And to carry it out. And right here, Mike, if you'll look up there, our whole demographics has really changed. Not bumping into the possibility of a general council to call for nominations for a secretary treasurer. This is just our effort, and we might need one more. We might need one more for sure. But when we come into that 4-month lapse of general council, we can't have any other general councils. But, a summit is a summit. It's not a quorum where we're going to throw people out, disenroll people, or, stuff like that. It is on the budget, how we can sustain the budget, the different changes that are happening, our fastest growing population, and of course, asking our revenue makers, here's the mark. I don't know if that answers your question, sir?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
You went around the world.
Yeah.
Well, the budgets all are done in February, so I don't see, that's a good date,
Sure
January.
it is, sure it is.
All the programs.
Yeah, disseminate in 45 days before, at least have a precursor for the entire tribe. So, Business Committee, I call upon you for a second of approval of 121-16.
Is this something you're trying to enact every year?
Trying to, as a template.
Well, why do you need a resolution when the CBC can call a special meeting just for one item discussion? You don't need a resolution.
Well, that's your opinion.
Well,
Business
that's the
Committee,
Constitution's opinion as well.
well, it's something new, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 121-16.
Motion made by Committeeman Narcomi on resolution number 121-16. Business Committee, I'm calling upon a second to follow through on this.
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Odyssey.
And the reason for this is how many times your budget's been the same for the last few years. People just don't even make a budget. You make a copy of last year's. And another reason is, how many times we think this program shouldn't be in there, and this one should be increased, but by the time you get to that general council, everybody just wants to go home.
No quorum.
No quorum, so what we try to do is, remember we said we was gonna be transparent, we're gonna let you see things. So what we're trying to do is we're gonna present this budget to you, hopefully every January, so we can go over each one of the line items that we're talking about, telling you which ones we think we should get rid of as a committee, because it's not making any money, it's not doing anything. Remember, we're up here to protect your money and increase your money. That's all we're here to do as a business committee. Keep that in mind. So we want you to know where these line items are and what we approve and don't approve, and let you vote on them and let you have a say-so on it. That's all this is, just open up to you to understand it, because how many times you've been to a CBC meeting, and by the time we get to the budget, everybody's gone. And then the budget goes on and on, same way it's been doing for the last few years. So if you don't want this, well, that's fine, and April voted out. So we're just trying to set up something here as a precedent, so you'll know, every January we got the budget. Every January we're gonna go over it. If you got something to say or do or voting, whatever, that's what we're trying to set up, instead of confusion.
I do appreciate Miss Bobby Jenniker. She's been arranging a lot of community meetings, and it seems like it's gained in population. I mean, started out with 30. Last one I went to, I was about 80. And the thing is, it's subject matter, and now they're wanting to go over the Constitution. I think it's great. It's building more interest, and, you know, this is the people's nation. Yes, Bobby?
I didn't want to go into it because, you know, I'm on the new business, but on the lines of the budget,
Yeah.
with it coming up to that day, as the community, we had all talked about having directors come and justify their budget. You know, how many Comanches did you serve? You know, what service was used the most? How much is training? How much is your payroll?
Things we don't see in general counsel.
Yeah, those,
Yeah.
and can we have that like in a big old summation, like a big old report given to us before this budget? So that way, we would be able to, you know, discuss furthermore versus it just being people getting up and talking and
Right.
getting down. You know, that way we can actually discuss more the budget. And then also, there's 55 directors with the Comanche Nation right now. And before, I know it's been proposed to reorganize those. And 55 directors at what salary? And I wanted to go into the pay scale when I have a chance to talk about it. But we need to look at reorganizing, because the way that I had figured, even if we conservatively estimate them at $20 an hour, it's close to like $96,000 just in salary for those 55 directors in 2 weeks.
Sure.
And so, you know, we want to look at how much money is our drawdown every month, and if we're spending over $1 million, 1.3 on salary, you know, how much money does that leave to serve the people? How much money is there for operations? And, you know, those gaming dollars, you know, we need to rearrange somehow so it starts getting to all the Comanches and different services. And at the budget summit, would we be able to like propose any new programs?
Well, it's not gonna be adopted there. No,
Okay.
it sure will. Bottom line, we just gotta give people a chance to breathe, to accept things. Going over, another Mootsie Qua. Going over, with gaming, going over with the tax commission. I don't understand why everybody hasn't gone to quarterly accounting, you know? That's crazy. Good business standard says quarterly accounting is the way to go. Monthly drawdown says we're gonna put such a strain on gaming, and if they have a disturbance in business, then everybody's hit with it. That's just silly. So it's a new way and a new day. So, business committee, we have, go back on that. Did we go for it on that, ma'am? All right. All right. We got a motion and a second? All right. Business committee. All those in favor of resolution number 121-16, let's signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, resolution number 121-16 did pass. Great.
Willie, excuse me, Chairman,
Yeah.
I would like for it to be on the record that I did call for a budget meeting when I was interim chairman, and I didn't get a quorum.
Yep.
So it's been attempted, so the people have to get involved. If you want to know what's going on, we can put all the information out there all day long, but if you don't take the time to get involved and read it and participate, it's not going to do anything. So just
That's
wanted to
right.
tell you.
You bet, Vice Chair.
We're just already us, that's Comanche tribe, members, that we're Comanches. Look what degree blood we are, and we're not interested. And he was talking about, you know, the fourth was not interested, you know?
Legal counsel on resolution number 12216. Business Committee, were we going to table this item?
No, I don't feel like we need to table it. We tabled it before, last month, and this is very important for Mr. Wumavoya to proceed on with getting the McIntosh property in
Okay.
trust.
All right.
So I would like to make a motion to accept Resolution 122-16.
I'll go ahead and read this. Go ahead, sir.
One point of order, the language on the now therefore be it resolved at the bottom of the first page.
Yes, sir.
She has a copy of it, did they get a copy? Dell got a copy. It says to be used for non-gaming purposes. It was changed to be used for economic development purposes pursuant to 25 CFR 151.
Okay, duly noted. All right. All right, well, whereas on resolution number 12216 for the record, whereas the McIntosh property is vacant, undeveloped land with no improvements, and whereas the Comanche Nation plans to use the McIntosh property for expansion of its land base and future governmental purposes to include ceremonial facility for the use and benefit of its citizens, and whereas the placement of the McIntosh property into trust is necessary to facilitate tribal self-determination and cultural enhancement that can be attained by increasing the nation's trust land base and raising the regional and local image. And whereas it is in the interest of the general welfare of the Comanche Nation to obtain approval of the United States Department of the Interior for placement of the McIntosh property into trust for the benefit of the Comanche Nation, Oklahoma. And the Comanche Nation Business Committee is authorized to request such approval pursuant to the Comanche Nation Constitution, Article 6, Section 7. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Comanche Nation requests that the McIntosh property be placed in the name of the United States in trust for the Comanche Nation, for the benefit of the Comanche Nation, pursuant to the Indian Reorganization Act, CFR 25 USC Section 465. Now therefore be it further resolved that the McIntosh property trust application shall be a request to secure 79.95 acres of land for the benefit of the nation, to secure surface rights only in that tract of land for the benefit of the nation, to be used for economic development purposes pursuant to 25 CFR Section 151. Business Committee, I call upon you for a motion on 122-16 for the third time. It still is worded differently and not wrong. It's just,
We need
Business
to,
Committee, I call upon a motion to table this again.
yes, I agree.
All right.
I
I make a motion to table
Okay.
resolution 122-16.
It's right off the Elgin exit.
Where?
Elgin,
Right off
Ok-
of I-44.
Elgin, Oklahoma exit.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Right.
I second that motion to table.
All right. Business Committee, all those in favor to table this signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right.
Is that the property right behind that old store that closed?
Pretty
Yes.
close to it.
Yeah, right behind there.
This resolution was entertained by Committeeman Mr. Odyssey. I believe it's right. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee is the duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation. Whereas at the July regularly scheduled CBC meeting, a motion was made and accepted to require all future candidates for CBC to be free of indebtedness to the nation, and for all candidates to also pass a hair follicle drug test prior to be allowed to run for office in future elections. And whereas the CBC has determined that this prohibition needs to be extended to per capita payments, salaries, and benefits of all tribal members who owe funds to the nation. And now therefore be it resolved that all candidates running for CBC office in the future be free of indebtedness to the nation, pass a hair follicle drug test prior to being eligible to run for office in future elections, and that all tribal members who are indebted to the nation shall be prohibited from receiving per capita payments or benefits while owing funds to the nation, and that the appropriate reductions shall be made from employee salaries for tribal employees to recompense such indebtedness. Resolution number 123-16. Business Committee, I do call for a motion for this resolution.
I thought we were gonna table this, and that's what was said just before the meeting, I thought. No?
No,
Seems like the sooner you get this thing passed, the better off we're gonna be.
There's some language in here, though, that you get into a part of talking about employees, and then you talk about candidates. So are you running employees in with the candidates, or what?
It also talks about anybody needing assistance.
So that's the confusion I have. I don't have a problem with doing this, but the wording to me is conflicting.
Well, I don't think it's conflicting. I
Well,
think
I'm just saying.
But this is my point. If you're an employee or just any Comanche, this is not, I'm not making one a member or employee or whatever. I don't care who you are or what you are. If you owe tribe to the money, you should be accountable. I don't care if you're running for office or you're an employee. We're here to, remember I told you we're a business committee, and these people have never, some of these people, not all of them, some people are making restitution to us, making payment, but some people haven't tried anything. Some people owe a lot of money to the nation. I don't care who you are. This is not for members only or just any, it's all Comanche people. You're responsible for the Comanche tribe. You take money from us in whatever capacity or whatever, and you don't pay it back, or we catch you stealing or whatever, we're gonna be held accountable. That's what this is. And you're gonna pay us back in this method here. You're gonna pay us back this way. If you can't pay us back by your salary, then we're gonna pay you per cap. Because it's your money. If you wanna give it away like you've been doing the last few years, that's up to you. But we're saying, hey, you're gonna be held accountable from now on. If we find anything in this audit or anything else, we're gonna come after you if you owe the tribe money. That's what this is talking about. I don't care who you are.
Well, it sounds like, it sounded to me like it was about any Comanche who received something and came back and needed some assistance from another office that they couldn't get help until they reimbursed.
No,
No, it doesn't read
It
like
sounded
that.
like that to me.
Mr. Parker.
I'm in agreement with all that was Mr. Odyssey said there. But one thing too, that needs to be looked at is how did all this indebtedness come about? Do we not have Fairleigh Cook? Do we not have our own financial department here? When it came about that, oh, all these employees owed all these monies back, how did that happen?
Yeah.
I could see one or two, but a multiple, something's going on, something's wrong. And nobody mentioned, well, let's look at, what happened. How did that ever happen in the beginning? So you need to pay attention to these financial institutions too, not just while the employees, got it a payday advance and they never paid it back. Well, it's supposed to be automatically taken out. It wasn't, why not? Somebody dropped the ball.
Well, Mr. Parker, numbers never lie. And if you are in a negative arrearage to your own nation, it should be paid back.
Right.
Right. But how did it get by for so long?
Your
Politics.
previous administration.
Politics with no business, so we're not doing this anymore.
They have to pay for the voting machine, for the voters. More money they loaned out, the more votes they got.
Back to the candidates. It talks about drug testing the candidates and all that stuff like that, which should have been going there. I mean, don't we have a policy for drug testing
Our
for
Constitution
employees?
says we qualify the candidates, so we're setting our procedure of qualification.
Well, what about
We made an autonomous arm that kind of went on its own. They were supposed to help our nation. They were supposed to help this business committee, but they went on their own, had their own autonomy, their own amnesty.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they're wanting to go to court. There was just an arm, a subcommittee created right here. And now we've got three other items that have gone completely to where they have total amnesty over us. No more. No.
Yeah. But the other thing was the educational level for, is that not an appropriate thing for the CBC to determine whether the educational level for the people running for, say, like chairman, vice chairman, secretary, treasurer, and the TA?
Yes.
There should be a requirement for them, educational,
I agree.
like a degree, a bachelor's degree, not, just a bachelor's degree. And I wrote something, I gave it to Mr. Odyssey, but I don't know whether you had a chance to look over it or anything like that, but it was that piece of paper I gave you down at the library. And that's what it was extended to, was that very thing for the CBC to change the educational level for candidates.
I agree with that.
Well, I could say something. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, along with this resolution, we should have a council resolution to amend the revenue allocation plan. And money judgments isn't in there. I think it's got embezzlement, theft, and extortion, but.
We already have a resolution for that. It's the 60%, number 2010-01, voted on, 60%
Oh, but I'm
increase.
talking about the,
It means to redo our entire RAP. Our RAPs need to be redone since 2007.
I'm
We have
talking
never
about,
met our apportionments for economic development. We have never met the right apportionments. We have not regulated our own. We were supposed to have a court. When we make an agreement with the United States government and we don't follow it, rip it up and redo it and follow it to the T. We have not done this, sir.
Makes us look
but
bad.
I was talking about the forfeiture of per caps and elder payments for people that have money judgments against them. They should be included in there.
You
And
bet.
then instead
Yes,
of just
sir.
elder
Yes, sir.
payments or per cap, it should be both should be forfeited. And it says up to 5 years, but we need to put in there until the debt is
Till it's paid
paid
full.
back.
Yes.
Codifying the court has to involve that, has to involve compliance. The water rights that came forward, when was that, 2010, Mike? Anyway, water rights, every rights, land rights. Our Constitution speaks to it that we don't abridge another trust, individual's trust property. Well, that's ongoing right now. That has to be included in this. In our court system, codifying this court, Doris and I, we argued quite a bit. I said, can we just go to the civil part? Just go to a yes or no in the civil, which she goes, no, we need to go to the full appellate part. And she's right. We have to. We cannot have the Bureau.
His
decide.
question is something the courts can't do. His question is tribal council should include that, and tribal council make a new RAP. The courts can't make a RAP for you because tribal council has to approve it. That was his question.
Well,
Only the council can amend the
The rap.
rap. So
We
that's what I
already
was
did
saying, that
amend
we
it.
put it
No,
there, we
you-
put
We
some,
already did amend
You
it.
didn't include the language
Well,
he's
nobody
talking
has
about.
written the rap to send it up for approval. A lot of talk up here,
Yeah.
you know, a
There's
lot of
also that
talk.
60% that needs to
Right,
be changed.
right.
Why don't you go ahead and draft
It just
it?
needs to be rewritten, resent to the awarding bureau officials. I've already talked to the awarding bureau officials, and they're all on board with this 10% elders program. They're all on board. So we just gotta get it written through, passed through, bring it to general council for final formalization, and there you go.
This will be getting ready, in order to get ready for the forensic audit results.
Yeah.
In any money judgment courts against people that owe money to the tribe. That way we'll get, do it beforehand.
Right, right. You know, just an update on the forensic audit. You know, they do all their information gathering, then they come up to a dissemination factor, then they come to their findings. And I'm just awaiting the findings so we can follow the procedure and the guidelines they bring forth, so this type of activity can't happen anymore. You can't abscond $38 million of the tribal people's money and just get away with it. Agree? I agree with that.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have been told before that a lot of evidence had been destroyed, that Wallace Coffey was working on a server not managed by the tribe, that William Owens used his own phone. Are we going after that information? Can we subpoena all of Will Owens' text messages? Can we subpoena all of Wallace Coffey's emails? Because those things right now seem out of reach of the forensic audit. Can we do that?
I was told no.
That's gonna be kinda hard. because
Yeah, I was told we
individually,
couldn't
you
do
got
it.
your own phone, but then being associated with us, there might be a loophole someplace, but on general, your own phone and your own thing is yours, we can't just come and get it. We gotta have a reason to come and get it, and we have to prove
$38
reason.
million.
I know, but we have to prove it. We have to prove it. In other words, did they pass a resolution? If they didn't, and they just did it, then maybe. But if they passed a resolution, then you people gave them permission, or the CBC
Well,
gave them permission to do
what
it.
would start the investigation? That's the thing.
Well,
Counselor?
let the council speak.
Yeah, there would have to be probable cause, that would start the investigation, it'd have to be a complaint, and it'd be in the criminal process, so then they could go get subpoenas for all of that.
Yeah, so what's probable cause? I mean, our money being gone isn't probable cause to do that?
I would think so, but that's up to the authorities.
You gotta have a paper trail. You can't just say, he took it. You gotta prove he took it. How do you prove, well, they drew this out of the bank, it was gonna pay for this, but they didn't pay for it. So, something like that might work, but still, it's gonna be hard,
Yeah.
either way you do it.
Well, 'cause
But
we-
I will tell you this, sitting on this committee, like I said, we're gonna get after those people one way or the other, if we can. If we can't, well, we can't, but if we can, we're going to. They should be liable for wasting your money if they waste it.
Where I think the probable cause is, because our past chairman had had his own server, but the Comanche tribe was paying for it. To me, that's probable cause. Now, I'm not no lawyer, but I got common
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and I think Will Owens' cell phone, you could see on some of the printouts that we were reimbursing him for his payment of his phone bill.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know, we had heard, of different times of, all the secretaries are shredding papers, and there was a document shredder thing that had backed up to the tribe. I mean, we know that that was done. We just need, I just want to see, they know, I mean, Wallace Coffey's still walking around like he's a big hot shot. I don't know how these people can go around without shame for what they did to our people. And they just act like they've gotten away with it.
Well, this is a legal matter, and our lawyer's gonna have to look into it, but if there's probable cause, we're gonna look into it.
Know one thing, and I'll go on record on this. There's some small players. They'll eventually turn on the big players, and I'll end with that.
Okay, one
Can
question.
we back up on our?
We haven't
I'm
done
sorry.
anything on this resolution,
Yes,
120. My
Okay.
question was, and that's what Mr. Burgess brought up, is when you read this, it says indebted to the nation shall be prohibited from receiving per capita payment or benefits.
Yeah, what's up?
So they won't be able to go get educational or, I mean, we're taking away their benefits because, I just want to understand that.
If you set up a board to determine what they can take, and that had to be approved by the CBC, now that would work.
Once
If
again,
you set up
Mr.
a board,
Mr. Poway, once again, this committee cannot play judge, jury, prosecutor, and the audience. They just can't. Codifying this court is monumental.
Is that what that means?
It is monumental. Like something like this, yes, it goes to the decision of an impartial judge. Hopefully, non-Comanche, retired federal judge, to be changed out every year.
Seems
Yes,
to me
sir.
that you should wait till you get a court to codify this, because it says benefits.
Well, strike the word benefit.
Yeah.
Well,
Approve it.
Well, that's why we're asking is that, is this, people who aren't even run for office? Those who owe something to the tribe because of some mistake or whatever, and then they can't receive anything.
It's not a mistake if you steal from your tribe, sir.
I didn't say steal, I said owe.
Okay.
Some people don't know they owe something until they receive a bill. But there's a big difference here, so the word benefits is
The
what
chair
throws
recognizes
some screw in it.
Mr. Odyssey. Mr. Odyssey, do you want to
I don't
move
believe you
forward?
should, that you don't know you owe a bill.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous. You know what you owe, you know what you do, you know what you say. If you don't, then there's something wrong someplace. But
Word
they're
benefits.
responsible. I'll make a motion that we accept this. Wait, let's let him answer.
Motion made by Mr. Odyssey.
Attorney has a question.
Point of order. Mr. Odyssey did say any and all benefits. That is a fuzzy area, and if that word needs to be stricken, it can be, but that'd be obviously an amendment. But I do believe that there is an issue there as to what that really means, because if it's not black and white, then where do you get it? So benefits are, and some are monetary, some are obviously a whole lot of different forms, like welfare, or child welfare service. Are we gonna say they should have?
Right.
The chair has the floor. So now therefore be it resolved that all candidates running for CBC office in the future be free of indebtedness to the nation, pass a hair follicle drug test prior to being eligible to run for office in future elections, and that all tribal members who are indebted to the nation shall be prohibited from receiving per capita payments while owing funds to the nation, and that the appropriate reductions shall be made from individual tribal member running for office. Business Committee, I call for a motion to resolution number 123-16. And for the record, could you retype that twice for me?
I'll make a motion
But
12316.
we're eliminating the word benefit.
Yes, we are.
All right.
I second.
Business Committee, we have a motion and a second. I'm calling upon this legal quorum to accept resolution number 123-16 by signifying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution number 123-16 did pass, and Mr. Eddie Odyssey, I applaud you, sir. I do.
back in,
Let me have another question real quickly here. This lady that's running around and having these little meetings, she's working on the Constitution now. And that's something we're gonna be working on too. So remember, if you don't know, if you don't care or whatever, whose fault is it? Like I said before, it's your fault. Go to those meetings and give her your 2 cents, because she's gonna give those 2 cents to us, and we're gonna go to a few of those meetings too, because we're gonna change this Constitution. It's so short and vague, and it doesn't say hard, it's confusing. That's why you wonder why you got confusion here. It's confusing. So go to those meetings and give your opinion and whatever, and we'll see what we can do, and we'll present it to you in April. Or send it to the BIA, whatever we have to do with these changes. We've got to change the recall.
the meetings that I've been organizing, they're not about politics, and I want to invite everybody. Right now, there's a us and them mentality, just like us going to court on Monday. You know, there's that side of those people, you know, their entourage, and there's us, but we're still all tribal members. So I truly want to invite everybody to these meetings. You know, whether you're on that side or on this side, you know, this is something that affects all of us. It's about our business and our operations. So I do want to extend an invitation to everybody to come. You're more than welcome.
What's the date?
We're going to be having a meeting on Thursday at the Business Center. That's at the Tax Commission meeting. It'll be at 5:30 and.
Beans and fry bread,
We'll
right?
be making beans and fry bread, yeah. So come and eat with us, and then we're going to start discussing the Constitution in lieu of making some changes that are needed. So I do.
In the paper? Where's it
Yes,
at?
I'll put it in the paper. At the Tax Commission building?
Where's
Yeah.
that at?
It's right there by Fort Philapache. Yeah, where the tags are. Yeah, it'll be at that building. So I do want to invite everybody to come.
Thursday
Everyone's
night.
invited. Yes, we're going to be live streaming. Yeah, so we do want to include the absentees in this process. You know, a lot of times they're left out of different things, and so we do want to include them in this also. So we'll be moving forward. Thank you.
Before we move on to new and old business, I want to call out these names. Could you just signify by saying, hey, I'm here? Dolores Dranger. Okay. Amber Hedge. Amber does have one issue in enrollment. Hopefully she'll be here. Okay, she is here? Okay. Frady's Insurance Company. Okay. Anybody else on executive session? Okay, we're gonna have to wait till after the holidays on that one. We are.
We have our budgets, we didn't know you
Okay, well, just leave it with us. Okay. All right, new and old business people, we are gonna turn the floor over to Mr. Thomas Narcomi.
Do you have a circulage on the executive commission, executive session?
We could amend it to put you on, ma'am.
I've been waiting like last month, and now I thought sure it'd be this month.
What's your name, ma'am?
Seculage. I'm here on behalf of Jesse Redrow.
Are you familiar with this committee?
Yes, she spoke to us several times.
Yeah, I've been here several months.
Ashley? Can you get this lady's information? And, okay, ma'am, you're here, good, all right. All right, Mr. Narcomi, you got the floor, sir.
I'd like to recommend that, what is it, 3 members of the CBC would sign a statement for a special council meeting, because there's a lot of resolutions that the council should do. And one of the resolutions would be amend the petition ordinance to require one person, one petition per year, something like that. And because it has to come from the council. And there's other council resolutions we can do, you know, like amend the rep or whatever, but, yeah, that would be a recommendation, because the recalls are getting out of hand, you know, one person doing numerous recalls, and, you know, it's in the past, but we need to, you know, do that until we do a constitutional amendment.
I agree with you. Us having the entire tribe frozen, that's just crazy.
Yeah, here's some information I'd like you to look at. This was I don't know if it's statutes of limitations or whatever, whether it's, but to me, it seems like it should be investigated. It's common knowledge that we had 75 to 100 machines and the casino that were illegally put in there. And the tribe didn't benefit from any of them. And I don't know what year it was, you know, and how long it was in there, but it seemed like but anyway, that explains a lot of it. But I just wanted to give it for your information to show you how much was stolen from the tribe. The tribe didn't benefit. I forgot to say that we owe the state money on those machines that were in there. And everybody knew it, but nobody done nothing. The board members at that time and the board members after that time in gaming. And we had attorneys on those boards, and they didn't do nothing. They could have, but they didn't. But anyway, that's just for your information, so you'll be aware of it. You know, that, I don't know, we can still do something about it, but, you know.
We know who was chairman at the time.
Yeah.
Gabby, I'm interested in what you said about you need 3 members to do what again? What did
Oh,
you say?
to call a special council meeting, anytime between here and April, you know, so, seems like we always run out of time, you know, for the, do resolutions during the council meeting. I know I was on the agenda a lot of times for resolutions, and I never made it. I don't know, it ain't gonna hurt.
Hopefully with this budget
Get some
summit.
good positive, resolutions and, you know, go with them.
Right. Hopefully after this, you know, budget summit we do,
Yeah,
within
that's
that
the first
time
time
frame.
in
Yes,
over
sir.
40 years. I
Yes,
mean, we
sir.
never had a budget.
Amazing.
That's really
right?
good.
Wow. It's not our money, it's the people's money. They gotta see, you know, if they want it or not, you know, right? So on these other ones, Gabby, we'll take this under advisement, sir. And I appreciate your time, always
You
being
got to talk
concerned.
to Attorney Growner, you know, see what
Right.
statute limitations is, but we can still do something about it.
Uh,
Yeah, I got him.
Oh, did you? Okay, all right. Is that it, Mr.
Yeah,
Gabby?
but it was the people, it's supposed to be the people's money and their decision, but the past, 6 years or so, you know, it was done behind our backs.
I'd say about maybe 2 decades, 20
Yeah,
years.
or longer, you
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
They're supposed to have video, excuse me, they're supposed to have videos of them, people getting money out of those machines.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if they still got them.
That'll be it, sir. Can you yield the floor to Miss Bobby Tenaker on new and old business?
Well, we can make a statement on that one just a minute, that, we already addressed it in the Tax Commission and Gaming Commission, that nobody leaves the building until all monies balance out. We already addressed that. There's no, it shouldn't happen again, of people, you know, their money's not balancing out. If it's not balancing out, they're gonna stay there and figure it out. Nobody's leaving there with $10,000 anymore. That's not gonna happen, so we already brought that up.
Our regulation right now, Mr. Narcomi, which I'm really glad of, really hard regulation. That's really good. That's really good. They put tribal internal control standards that I've never seen, not from different tribes. And they're pretty hard, and that's good. That's good for us. Keep the eye on the money. So,
$10,000 tip.
I don't know about those.
There's no secrets.
All right. Chair recognizes Bobby Tenaker. Ma'am, you've got the floor.
Mr. Chairman, in the past meetings that we've had, and when I was going around with the petition to recall Jerry Toshapaw, I had a chance to visit with a lot of people, and I just didn't want to come in and get a signature and leave, so I really got to listen to what the people had to say. And one story, this lady is on disability, and the Social Services Department does give them like a little general assistance check, and I believe it's $125 a month, and 6 months is all that they can receive, and then that's cut off. But many of them that are waiting for disability, like my own brother who has cancer, which is treated by medication, and he's unable to work. You know, he's trying to keep his sugar regulated, he's trying to keep his weight up, but it's only $125 a month, and if you look at another 6 months would only mean like about what, over $700 to help them. And it's just a little bit amount of money, because I couldn't imagine living on $125 a month, but it means a lot to those people. And so I don't know if that would be a change in policy and procedures for social services. But another situation also that I'd like for you guys to look at in social services is that right now, it's only one tribal member per household every 6 months that can get help. And we have, you know, some homes have 3 or 4 generations of people living in one house. And, you know, if, you know, like a mother gets help, then, you know, her kids can't get help, or her brother or sister in that home, or even her father can't get help. And so I think that, you know, if we look at social services and see if that could be a change, but also absentee Comanches, you know, they need help, you know, whether it is where they're living at, you know, and can we expand social services to help them? I mean, if it would take hiring, you know, one worker that would be just for the absentees to handle all those requests and all the checks to help to assist them. And then also another thing in social services is the one person for every 6 months, but also if we're looking at opening that up and changing the policies, you know, do we need to add more money to social services to address all those needs? So I think that we need to look at the policies and procedures, and I know that goes with you and the CBC and Jimmy Arterberry, the tribal administrator, but I think that those changes need to be made like immediately, if possibly at the next meeting, to address these issues for the people. And we don't want to just be giving out, you know, handouts. You know, we want other programs to help them for it to be a step up, but that was one of the things that I heard from a number of tribal members when they came forward. So I think, you know, if you guys could look at the social services policies and procedures, and if we could change that so everybody could get help in a household except for one every 6 months. So that was one issue. Then
That's a good idea, Bobby.
Yeah, that was the biggest, you know, concern that a lot of people had.
Sure.
And then the second thing that I know I've talked to you guys about it before, and we've discussed in the community meetings, is a pay scale. And, you know, how much are we drawing down every month right now, Mr. Nelson? Our drawdowns, Mr. Arterberry. Every month, how much do we draw down from the casinos? 3 million?
We gotta keep in mind, our people voted for about 12.5 million. Okay, that's for community and education. Now, most of our economic development ventures is 12.5 million, but there's no economic ventures except Nico's water park. Everything else is this community and education system. So just add it up. That's 24 million, so our drawdown is probably about 1.9, 2.0.
2.0. So if we're drawing that every month and we're paying 1.3 million, that may fluctuate. I don't know, there's some employees gone now, then that's like, what, maybe 60% of our money that's going to pay scale.
Right.
And we know a lot, and then when you have a pay scale, you're able to, you know, look at people with their education, you know, what experience do they bring, and it allows for you to have consistency across the board with your pay scale. It offers you flexibility. You know, you can pay more for somebody who has a degree and brings a lot more, but at the same time, it also allows you to save money when you hire people with limited backgrounds. And, you know, it also helps with budgeting too. And so if we're only receiving that much money and then we're paying out 1.3 million in salary, it doesn't seem, you know, like that equivalates. And I don't mean to step on anybody's, you know, toes.
But we gotta realize one thing, Bobby, you got gaming, okay?
Mhm.
And we do have federal funding. Got 84 programs over here gaming funded. We got 32 federal programs over here. Some of them get some matching gaming monies. So we always put the blame on the gaming money coming here, and God, we can't meet that need, but we do have federal monies, 32 programs of federal monies that have stringent guidelines. Of course, they weren't followed, that's why we were high risk, but we're getting really close to that. Bobby, when this budget summit comes up, the people can't be forced a one-page budget anymore. and say, here's 84 programs, we're gonna rush through it, vote on it, yes, no, yes, no. It has to come to a categorized column. There's so many things that fit within the education column. So many things that fit within the social betterment of our nation. We've got to go to a categorized column. We can't go around and call everybody, I'm a director, oh, I'm a director, you don't know who's salute around here. You know?
We already discussed that.
The
We already
serviceability,
discussed that. We're gonna
Bobby,
be doing something about it.
our job, our serviceability to our people, when I was TA, was about 16%. Jimmy has been a great manager. Our serviceability has jumped up to 25%. It has to be 50. We have to shoot for the 56, 60% mark. Does that call for a riff? No. That calls for us to get off our duffs, give gaming a break, give us more business ventures, more revenue. We've never doubled down. I'm going on a preaching method here. We have not doubled down. We have not tripled down our gaming money over 10 years, and all we see is people with excuses up here. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just think about our economic development. And hopefully everybody watching across the world, we got a Comanche in New Zealand. The thing is this, if you don't give $12 million to bring bona fide businesses, and then you just push through and give them $1 million, and they're creating little small businesses that aren't going to make it anyway with no exit plans, then you just failed our tribe. For 10 years you have done this. So let's get real, people. Let's change our rap. We see a great population explosion. We see that we're going to have 12,000 members turning 18 by August 1st, 2017. We've got to get out there verifiable, viable businesses that employ our people, that bring other revenue back. We can't be a spend-only tribe. If we keep doing it, we're going to fail ourselves. Something's on the horizon I can't even discuss at this table. That could just put our whole tribe in a half-empty cup. You know, we've got to protect our house. Now, Bobby, what you're bringing up is just right on. It's spot on. I hope that everybody keeps going to your meetings. And this issue, we've got to come to a budget summit and say, I can't give you this piece of paper of last year. It's a flow through what we've done for the last 10 years. We got to come with something different, something very different, where we give our people a choice. Want the same old magic? Didn't get us nowhere. Or we go this way and create more opportunity, more revenue, better serviceability. We can do this. I'm shocked at gaming in the conditions that they were left in, with people leaving, the CFO, the CEO, everybody left. But right now, we have Comanche members at every one of our properties managing this thing. And I tell you what, they did a great job. They turned it around like in 6 months, turned it all around. Where you are getting 1303.65. And they met their apportionment to the tribe. That's great news. We've got a group now that wants to, let's make money. Let's generate revenue. And I, myself, and this board believes we don't need to use the people's money to make money. There's other people's money out there to make money. And we got to do that avenue. I know I'm going on a tangent of what you're speaking about, but things are on a different path right now. It's no more business as usual.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And another subject that was discussed at the community meetings were audits.
Yes.
And we feel that the audit needs to be expanded to gaming. The audit needs to be expanded to tax commission. The audit needs to be expanded to those organizations that are supposed to be bringing in money. And so like Mr. Narcomi had mentioned, you know, you're going to be calling a general council for nominations. You know, why don't you seize the opportunity, if you would, Mr. Chairman, consider and place some of these things that you need the people to act on, and place it also on that budget that day, and we could accomplish a lot. you know, and get the ball rolling, you know, on these different things. And so that's all that I have. Thank you for your time.
We've already discussed the audit.
Mr. Willie Pika?
I have a couple questions. Last month, you passed a resolution to look at term limits for committees. Can you give us an update on that?
Sure,
Or a plan,
sure.
what you got going?
The PSA, it was sent out, wasn't distributed out, I guess. They will have to have a transition on a few of these, just a few of these. Altogether, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 12 actual positions. So hopefully when you see this PSA, bring your information to the front. We'll go over, disseminate it. We just need some new blood. Like Clyde said, what were they doing, Clyde?
Homestead.
They're homestead. Mr. Burgess, do you have a question?
You still don't know.
Okay.
Second question, I brought up the use of the golf course.
Oh, yeah. Operation Golf
I'm not,
Course.
I don't want to homestead anything, but
Right.
I want to know what, can we get a plan going, or what we're going to
Well,
do?
Mr. Pika, we are tasked with our boss, which you are part of. The Supreme Governing Body voted no on this thing. So we, no matter which way we go, we lose.
Well, what we talked about,
I
though,
know.
was that we would do, try to get people to volunteer,
I know.
do fundraisers to get it going. We're not asking for money
I know.
from the council.
I know.
All we wanted to do was have a meeting out there so we can assess the property, assess what the needs, and look what the property needed to get up to speed to get it open. And then present an idea to you, but we can't have a meeting there. So we want,
I got a call that you guys were having a meeting about an hour before I was going to that gaming audit or something. I'd be more than happy to meet with y'all out there, just walk around, but
well, we can't.
committee, y'all need to come in on this, because you guys have discussed some things with me that,
The plan for the community people, they want to see what it looks like. So they can have ideas, they can, say, we need to volunteer for this, we need to paint this. We can't have an idea without actually looking at the property.
Mr. Pika, I'd like to interject something here. This property has been held by several entities. We inherited that golf course from the city of Cache.
Do we own it?
They gave it to us.
We own it?
They gave it to us.
Yes.
But the point I'm making is, there's never been any money made or generated in that golf course. That's why they gave it to us. It didn't make money then, it's never made money since. The people voted it off the budget because of that reason. Money was going into that place very heavily with no return, as a lot of our businesses are like that. Money goes in, we never see it come back. So a lot of us have talked about it, and I think we need to either lease that place out or sell it.
Well,
That's
what I
my
talked
take
about
on it,
last
because
time.
it doesn't make any money. Golf courses do not make
And
money.
that's what I mentioned too, that, the people wanted to get it going because it's a community thing.
No.
No.
community
No, the
wanted-
people
No, they
voted,
supported
the
it, but
people voted it off.
I know,
Right.
but
The
let me
people,
finish.
as far as I'm concerned, the people voted it off. It's not on the budget, therefore it's dead.
That's right.
If you want it to get started again, you come down to council and vote the budget back in. But so far as I'm concerned, I don't even think about it because it's not on the budget.
But we're not
And
asking for money.
also it cost us over
No.
$400,000 since
No.
we had that place. So that's just money thrown away. See, if you people want
We
to throw away
don't need to
money,
get
well,
involved in it.
Yeah.
It's
as
just
far as I'm
not a
concerned,
moneymaker.
it's not on the budget and,
Well, we said that it wouldn't be a moneymaker. I know that, I've been around golf courses.
Yes,
We
but
will
then
never
too, in
make
6
money
months,
there.
you guys will be coming up here asking us for money because you haven't paid your water bill. You haven't, the greens are all messed up. You're gonna be asking for money. That's the scenario we've seen with this place. And that's
Well, I
why,
just-
in my opinion, it's not good business.
I just wanted to see what the feeling was of the council here, that's all.
it's hurt
I
my
don't
feelings
want
too.
to-
I'm a golfer.
Go out there
there's
and
plenty of places to
volunteer
go.
on my time for nothing either, so that's what I'm looking
Why
at.
don't we sell it to them?
Make a point of order.
That's what I see.
If this land is put into trust, we can do a management agreement with a third party, and that may be.
We can do a management agreement now. There was a person that had approached us about leasing this golf course, but he never came up with the money or never came back.
If it's put in trust, what I'm saying is there are advantages. If it's in trust, and then you have to lease it or have a management agreement for up to 7 years.
Well, I don't see any advantagements
I
because
don't
two,
either.
three other entities already tried this and didn't make a penny.
Yes, and
So
they'll
what
be
we
up
gonna
here
do?
asking for money.
We're gonna ride a dead horse again?
Yes.
That don't make sense to me. I either sell it or
Yes.
I told them we ought to make those Starbucks mad and build Indian homes on them.
Well, actually, all the golf courses I've been around and seen, there's always apartment complexes and homes around the golf course that those people who can afford that will be the ones who golf most of the time. And that's just what I've seen.
That's
That
what
wasn't
it
the
was.
case.
Same way it counts. Because the people that live around that golf course, they're always out on the golf course. In the morning, early in the morning, you see them out there golfing.
Well, it never made any money. Never made money.
No,
Okay, Gabby.
Okay, I just wanted to,
Okay.
you
Mr.
know,
Baker, go ahead.
apologize. I'll send
Well, I
that.
just didn't want you to waste your time anymore.
I
That's
don't
why.
want to do that. That's why I kept
That's why-
coming here. It's
that's why
been
I'm
a
gonna
month
tell you.
since we did this.
I'd like to make a comment, on the other side. I know everybody wants to burn it at the cross and at the stake. I mean, not at the cross, but burn it at the stake. And, yeah, it never made money, but it never had been managed correctly, ever. I mean, a group of, that teenage group out there, you can't make money if you don't know how to run a golf course or how to maintain a golf course. That golf course is in the best shape it has ever been in. It is a really, really nice golf course. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Cache and that golf course is in Cache. I was really hoping we could have built a golf course on that KCA property at that one time when they were talking about that, which would have made a lot of money. I mean, not made a lot of money, because they don't make a lot of money. They're not gonna make as much as Star Casino or Spur Casino, but, and they have been just mismanaged so badly, but they are really good for the community. That's the only upside that I see. And
Well, that was the point I was trying to make along with Mr. Powell was saying, that it benefits the school system, it benefits the community. Like I said last time, the college had a benefit out there, golf outing, they made $8,000. If you had an organization could do a fundraiser and make $8,000 in a day, it's a win-win. We need programs for youth, they need something to do out there. Have pride in, getting something started, that's the point, but if the council get it, I'll rescind what I had doing, and I apologize.
Don't apologize,
Thank you very
Willie.
much.
Well, he'll recommend.
I did have one avenue, the Golf Pro at Fort Sill Golf Course. What he wants to do, free of charge, is go out there and assess the actual greens. That's what makes a golf course. He's just gonna do it free. Because he takes your money, Willie, Tinky's money, everybody else that golfs at Fort Sill, he just wants to do it free. Bring it back to us and we'll disclose the full amount, and, it just comes to the people again. If it's too costly, you're seeing it, the people did vote on it, Mr. Pika, but this will be a free thing. And I'll make sure next meeting, December 1st, or whenever it is, to tell you what that price is.
I got a question for Willie. Mr. Pika, last month you said, not you, but your brother, Gene, said it made $119,000 last year. Could you ask him to bring the proof so we can see that it actually made that much? Because we would like to see, if they did make that much, where did that money go? We know that the bank account there for the golf course was only one person had access to that bank account. Or could write checks for anything, and that was Will Owens, our past TA. So I'd like to see proof that there was $119,000 made. That's all I'm asking.
I think brother said 111,000, and it came from employees that money was turned over.
yeah, again, that's just mismanagement.
The
Poor
procedures
management.
they out there were out of line. When brother had the golf outing, Willie Owens told brother to give the money to Asa. And brother said, I'm not giving it to procurement, I'm taking it to accounting. They were doing things like that, so where did all the money? We
That's what we're
don't
trying,
know.
that's what we need to know.
You know, the water park has had a driving range over there since the water park opened. They have those big, huge lights at nighttime on, and there'd be one person hitting a bucket of balls.
And it
at
doesn't
those
make any
huge
money
lights. No, I'm going, is that one bucket of balls, you're gonna pay for
Yeah, that was
electricity
40
on
minutes
those-
also.
On those lights, oh my gosh.
They were hitting golf balls that were cut up by the lawnmowers, and
That was
if you
me.
wanted to go hit your own balls, go find your balls and you can come back. Well, who's gonna go pay for that? Come on, I mean,
I paid for a bucket of balls about 5 years ago, and they were all cut up. I didn't mind, it was good practice. Mr. Burgess?
Well, what I hear you saying here, I don't know if y'all know that, but you're talking about doing an assessment again, evaluating that golf course, and what changes could be done to bring in income to continue it. And there are scholarships available for golfers. You just have to let them practice at a young age. So if you were to do something in line with the college, let them have a golf team, let them get started with stuff like that in the youth golf leagues, and put lights on that course, maybe not a 9-hole, but a 3-par course, so at night people can use it. In the spring and the summertime, you get a lot of business at night golf. There's a little course right off the highway in Oklahoma City,
89.
the 3-par.
Yeah.
It is busy every night.
Yeah, it is.
On
That's
weekends,
Oklahoma
it's,
City though.
Yeah,
We're talking about cash.
yeah.
Really off the
Build it, they
highway.
will come. If you start a program with the schools here, as he's talking, youth activities, and let them start doing something, because you're talking about our future. You're talking about these 12,000 people turning 18 who never picked up a golf club, you know, who never saw a golf. I never played golf till I was 21, and they called me a sandbagger in the first tournament I went to because they hit a 72. And I never golfed in my life. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying it was a sport I didn't know I could have been doing, and I could have been a pro at it if I'd have done it early enough. That's what we don't know our youth can do until they try it, put a golf club in their hand. So I'm just saying that's, to piggyback on, you're talking about doing an assessment, a real deep assessment here, and if this pro wants to come and look at it and give you an evaluation, that's great.
You bet.
Now, I got up here to support what Bobby was saying, and to remind you, Mr. Chairman, in 2010, this body here, when I sat there, we passed the Reorganization Act.
We sure did.
And we also passed a resolution saying bringing in a pay scale and salary adjustment.
Sure.
It never happened.
Sure, we
So
got it.
there's already resolutions on the table
Sure.
here that you need to go back and review and bring that forward. You were the TA at the time.
Yeah, we also have the information technology expert for the Cheyenne and Arapahoes to help me build that whole hierarchy. I don't know what happened to it, Travis.
It never came to the table. And secondly, in order to help these people with gaming money, there was a resolution passed that stated you cannot spend any more cash from your gaming money equal or more than you did with your federal monies. So there's a resolution on the table that the programs cannot spend more gaming money than they do their federal money. So it'll be equally used. At the same time, we passed a resolution saying that the TA was to lead the effort to adjust the policies, that gaming policies can help in those areas that federal policies would not allow. So what Bobby was talking about was into your bailiwick as a TA to change those policies.
Bailiwick, I had a 13-month process there, sir. This meeting is coming to adjournment, everybody. We've got so much business to take care of.
One quick announcement.
Go right ahead, sir.
From the Elder Council,
Yes, sir.
they're having a meeting Monday, and I appreciate the council would come because the current chair is retiring.
Oh, okay.
Raymond is retiring. And
Okay,
it'd be nice for you to be there to
sure.
let it go.
We have to be in court Monday morning,
Okay,
unfortunately.
but that is happening. And that's,
I have one more
election for
item.
A new chair, so thank you very much.
I have one more item.
Sure,
Okay, we've got this tower up here, and there's nothing on that tower. Nobody's making money off that tower or anything. Now, I've already talked to several people that are in the tower business, and they recommend cellular phone rentals. It probably runs $3,000 to $4,000 a month that they pay the Comanche tribe to use that tower. And it's not solidified yet, but I've been talking to like Motorola and some of the other people that have cell telephones.
Well, bring it, Jarvis.
And
Next meeting, bring it.
they're proposing to tear that tower down. I've already been told they're gonna take it down. Pardon me?
What's the location?
It's right there.
That wind tower thing.
It's up on the other side of Comods.
Oh, okay.
That tower is coming
Hey.
down.
Miss Simmons, hold on, Gabby, Miss
If
Simmons.
anybody's hungry, they're serving, dry bread and stew.
It's coming down.
Where
At
at?
the Elder Center.
At the
When?
Elder Center today?
Right now.
Right
Yes,
now.
they are.
And they deliver?
When?
And your drinks.
I'm talking about the tower, not fried bread.
Go ahead, Gabby.
Okay, I seen a financial statement on that golf course, and it had I think it had about 408,000 in the hole.
Excuse me, I was talking about the tower. I started talking about the tower, so when, all I wanted to know was about the tower.
Okay, all right, all right.
Hey, I respect you.
Business Committee, I'm calling for us to go to our executive session. Make a motion, and can I please get a second?
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. With that said, Nanunsi Traveling Mercy.
Now, we got time to go eat over there. As soon as I get out of here, I'll go.
Yeah, God.
Clyde wants me to go.
Yeah, God.
Heavenly
You gonna go?
Thank you for this day. Just ask you to be with our committee here, let make good decisions for our people. We just praise your name every day. We ask you to watch over those who are sick, Lord. Those have cancer, those have mind diseases. Like my family, Lord, we just watch over the two in the hospital and be with them, Lord. Our vice chairman's niece had cancer. Just ask that everybody pray for the young lady laying there with cancer. We just ask you to humbly watch over all of our loved ones, Lord. All of our not. I'm Mariga Inesukasi. I'm on Mariki Taku Marihana. And it's a Natsuka. If that's it, then Nasuasi is our God. If that's it, then Tanana. Let me show you what I have got. If that's it, then Wasuasi. Just ask you to continue to bless our chairman, our committee people, Jimmy, our lawyer. May they do the best job they can for our people. Our people have only known wrongdoing, Lord. And it seems like now we're going to finally face good times and good ways. And finally our people may be able to prosper. God. We got kids this morning that woke up with no breakfast. We got kids that go to school that don't have no shoes.
That's right.
We got kids that are going to go in wintertime, no coat.
That's right.
Help this committee, Lord, to help them little ones. Be with our elders, Lord. They just lay in their homes and wait and accept what this committee presents them. Help this committee to do good for our people, Lord. Mari duit kawan. Mari sutai. Mari telway of God. Sa ko na mari samayor ki ijay. A sutai to it. You bless them, Lord. We give you all the praise for this meeting, Lord, and the good things that came out of it. And again, I say, watch over us all, Lord. May your blessings continue to be with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
We'll take about a 15-minute break, and then we'll go to our executive session.
Information.
Oh, you already got that.
That's on the agenda side.